Pioneer DJ, or I guess I should say Alpha Theta, has just announced the beta is available for Rekordbox 7. With this beta version, you can be among the first to try our latest Rekordbox, which has undergone a drastic evolution with significant performance improvements and new AI, cloud, and automation technology. So this is what's new. Added a new browse function for the streaming services. I want to talk about that because nobody's covering that. Added a new filter function for collections. That's pretty cool. We'll get into that. Added new layout dual player for export mode. So the export mode actually has a dual player instead of just the single player. So for those of you that are using it to export USBs, you can like try out mixes, give it the little test run to see if these two songs sound good together, et cetera, et cetera. Added new recommendation. This is what I really like. The streaming radar, collection radar function to track suggestion. We'll elaborate on it in a little bit. Improved native support for Apple Silicon, improved preferences. For those that don't know, it was working with Apple Silicon, but it was using the Rosetta in order to work with Apple Silicon. And now they're adding native support for Apple Silicon. So known issues for the beta right now is music analysis may be slow, may not work smoothly when connected to a controller. So don't use this as a gig, please. I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I guess I am. Just don't use beta software at a gig. Unless the stream title is, let's test out the beta software and see if it breaks, right? Like,
yeah. Unless that is the subject
right?
of the stream.
Yeah. Characters may not be displayed correctly depending on the language used. Settings made in the preferences may not be reflected correctly. Attribute icons may not be displayed correctly. BPM may not be displayed correctly in some tracks. The version notation may be out for some parts. And some elements are not correctly shown on a 4K monitor. Well, boo-hoo. Library sync is not available during this beta period. This is big. So back in 2017, when I moved from Serato to Rekordbox, and I started using Rekordbox with the intent of only using it temporarily, I just started getting used to the Rekordbox workflow and decided I'm just going to stick with Rekordbox. But one thing that I had to adjust, and this is big. This is a big deal for workflow. In Serato, when you create folders and you put playlists inside of those folders, if you click on that folder, it shows you the sum of all of those playlists. It shows you everything inside of those playlists. So you could be like, shit I like. And then inside of the shit I like folder is this shit, that shit, the other shit. You know what I mean?
February shit I like.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can go up the hierarchy. You can either click on the playlist or you can click on the folder to see the sum of all the playlists, right? Not in Rekordbox. In Rekordbox, when you used to click on the folder, it just shows you nothing. It's completely blank. And so the workaround for that for me was I used to create an all playlist and drag everything into the all playlist when I was done doing my playlists. And that way I could have an all playlist for everything, right?
With the whole list of everything.
With the whole list of everything, right.
And also for searching too, right?
Yep, exactly. And so like I couldn't just like click on the shit I like folder and search only in the shit I like folder for certain parameters. Like, so yeah, all of that kind of stuff. Anything involved in like a hierarchy of search, it didn't do it the way that Serato did. And that was a huge, I had to adjust my workflow for that because I relied on that quite a bit. Yeah. So this coming into Rekordbox, first of all, about time. This has been a feature in Serato for 20 years. Literally, I think it's great. I think it's really awesome, actually. When you're in Rekordbox 6, you're managing 2 device libraries. And so with that, there would be longer export times. Also, it takes up more space on the storage medium, right? Yeah, I'm skeptical for backwards compatibility. Like obviously this will work with the new products.
But are they accounting for the drivers updated on these old products?
Exactly. In order for an older product to read a new library, there's going to have to at least be a firmware update for the older device. They don't update firmware in the club. Let me tell you that right now. It's going to be a roll of the dice if you're using Rekordbox 7, at least to my understanding. Let's go with, since it's beta, let's just go with benefit of the doubt right now. And then we'll continue to cover it as it gets released and it goes into the wild and people start chiming in. Yeah, exactly.
All the different scenarios.
I don't want to sound super negative and like super skeptical. So we'll go with benefit of the doubt. We'll keep it positive for now, and we'll see how it works out. Big up to them for consolidating the library to a single library, because that definitely was a redundant situation. They were like in a weird transitional period where like, are we only with the old or the new kind of situation? So this is a feature that excites me. So first of all, I'm a big fan of the recommended tunes, not because I need someone to tell me what to play, but because I feel like it's a good way of narrowing down 150,000 tunes to like 1,000 tunes that I can pick from. And I'll continue to narrow it down with metadata, like searching for tags and things like that, to maybe narrow it down to 500 tunes that I can pick from. I feel like it's an amazing use of technology. And to push it out to including a user base, first of all, where are we giving permission for this? And how does that work? Second of all, I think it's cool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at those and be like, I am not playing any of those. This is what everyone else is playing? Yeah, we ain't playing none of that shit.
That's the way.
I'm about it, dude. Using the technology for your position is the right way to do it. And I think that this is a really cool piece of tech. All right, let's check out what I wanted to check out. First of all, Rekordbox 7 beta, tight. What I wanted to look at was the Beatport section. This is new for me. In the My Beatport section, I'm not used to seeing artists and labels. I'm only used to seeing the collection. So that's new. They talked about added browsing features to streaming services. And so this is something I haven't seen anybody cover, but I was looking at it and this is what they're talking about. My playlists, these are all my playlists. This was already in there. So there's Beatport Top 100. Then here's the different playlists. This was already there. This recommended one was not. So these are, let's see here. Follower recommended. So that's kind of cool. These are all the artists that I follow, so I can look at individual artists. The streaming recommended, I've never seen the recommended ones. I've seen the My Playlist ones. I like the artists one. That's really cool. I would use this one a lot. And I would absolutely use the labels one. I think this is sick. I want to start doing like label tributes from this now.
That's what we do. Yep. We just did our label party at Shelter last month.
I'm looking for, what did they say? Like streamer recommended or something like that?
Yeah.
Here we go. Cool. Awesome. This is cool, right, Ollie? Yeah, me too. I'm excited for these because these bring other songs to the surface that maybe you wouldn't have thought of or wouldn't have, you know what I mean? And like, I'm all about that. So the era, the mood, and the association, those are all things that I'm familiar with already. But the collection radar being blank is interesting to me. I don't have anything in this library. That would make sense because this is an empty library. I don't have anything saved to this hard drive. This is an empty version of Rekordbox. Oh, it just quit. Oh, it just quit.
That's the
beta.
That's the beta.
Beta. Do we leave feedback?
Beta.
Stop being so beta.